Hello, guys. I know it's been a long time since I've posted, and I appreciate the subscribers that have held on to a subscription to my channel. And I have been going through a lot of learning and intensive life issues, so I hope that I can bring that to you um, in a good way with lots of uh, es- escalation and acceleration, rather, in your learning curve for all the good things in life and manifesting what the life that you want. So today, I topic is essentially Ho'oponopono. I'm going to try to be just channeling what the divine, what my guides are, and my guardian angels are telling me to talk about. And so today is essentially Ho'oponopono when it manifests towards a karmic relationship, and more specifically, karmic soulmates and even twin flames and such. Anybody in our path, really, that has uh, caused us issue. But okay, so we're going to focus in though on relationships and when is a good time and how to end a karmic relationship if you were in the process of ending it. So, my main message is that um, unless you can leave a relationship, not even just leave, you can leave, especially if it's become abusive or emotionally or physically or verbally, financially, or just whenever. You don't even have to wait for that, but um, you know, you don't have to leave. You can leave. It's all good. You should follow your intuition. Don't rely on what I'm saying or anybody else tells you to do. I have personally been in some actual verbal and emotionally abusive relationships. And I learned a great deal from that. And in practicing Ho'oponopono for that situation, I feel resolved within myself about balancing the karma, essentially, if you believe in that sort of thing. But basically, for me, it just my heart feels lightened and free by releasing somebody else. So forgiveness is not for that person. That forgiveness is for me and my soul. And but the byproduct of that is that it also releases the other person too, who is a reflection of myself and is reflecting my own mind and feelings back to me about what I think about myself and the world. Basically, they're reflecting my thoughts. So everything is guidance. All is guidance. So though though I let me see what's I'm hearing is that um, if a relationship is over, it's reached beyond its expiry date. You've learned what you need to learn from that, and you take that with you. If you continue to stay and prolong it out of guilt or old ideas of responsibility and commitment and vows and um, anything that you said in the past, which is gone and not real, um, then you, oh, forgive me for saying this, you get what you get. So, hey, I'm no judgment. I got what I got. And, which was also confirmation over confirmation on top of confirmation that I needed to follow my divine guidance. and that there's really no such thing as a commitment, a vow, or a well, this is really going to get deep. I'm probably going to get a lot of lashback from this. But how can a person and how can I or any entity? Okay, how can a person who makes a vow at a certain date in the past? Uh, they may completely mean it. How can they, when they have become a different person, which happens all the time, every second, supposedly according to some people, but let's say years pass and I'm a different person. I've learned different things, and my path has changed, and I have different ways to go. How can I adhere to something I did in the past, said in the past, and that has nothing to do with me currently and who I am today? Um, my God, I am totally different from who I was years ago, even just last week. And I get amazed at how people try to hold you to something you said that was like, I don't recall even saying that. Um, but it was important to them. So, yes, I'm going to get a lot of lashback from this, possibly, and that's not a good affirmation, but I just go on, say what you have to say. Um, because, you know, if you if you hold somebody to something that they said years ago and they meant it then, but say, you know, they want to, let's say you're in a relationship, they want to be with somebody else today, why would you want them to stay with you? Okay, so you may want them to stay with you because now you're financially dependent on them, or it can really screw up your the monthly bills, and you're going to be really upset because you're used to being in bed with them, and that's your habit, and you have your own personal reasons that you want somebody else to follow through with what they told you in the past. Um, so you are dependent on what other people, you've made your plans based around what other people said. I feel for you. Because anytime you do that, you're, to that extent, you're putting yourself at risk for being disappointed. And guess what? Everybody disappoints you. Sorry, life fact. And um, everybody changes their mind every day. And some people are they do the same things over and over and over again. And they create a small place in the world that they want to do everything. That's great. Okay, we need people like that. There are those who change regularly and move through different realities and different jobs and they're traveling all over the place. They're here, they're there, and they're seen as very inconsistent. Uh, I have been, one of those people, and I can tell you that, I've been to India a couple of times. I've been to Mexico. I've been in, this part of the United States, that part of the United States, and I move about freely because I can. It seems that I get intuition to go a certain direction, and it seems very timely, and then the way is made. And other people get upset about that. So now their world is disrupted, but guess what? Mine is too. My routines are also disrupted. Just like the person or the situation I'm leaving behind is disrupted, I'm also, guess what? Because I'm moving, I'm doing a different routine. So yeah, my routine is disrupted, but I end up, on an adventure, having everything I need along the way, or that I think, that that I need, or that I think is relevant, or if I'm camping, I don't have all the things that you'd have in a home, but that's part of the adventure, right? So, uh, but I have everything I need, and I'm living by divine grace, divine orchestration, more and more. So, I face that too, but I don't. The difference is I think that the person or the situation that is left behind feels disrupted in a way that, even if you prepare, like I've prepared people for it, and they still, like, they get upset about it. Um, Sometimes, not always, but a lot of times. And so saying, oh, you didn't finish what you said you would do 25 years ago. Come on, really? I was, in my 30s. So, um, let's not hold people to those standards. If you do, why do you do that? You're only holding yourself back when you do that. It's time for humanity, mankind, it's time for us to let go and to start living by divine orchestration, and to live more in the now. Listen to what your divine intuition is telling you, and listen to what your marching orders are, instead of creating your marching orders, because that just generally does not work out anyway. So if you listen to what your higher self is saying, your soul is saying, they're going to work those things out for you. And even they're going to work out even your, you know, the dissolution of your current reality. Until you let go, you're gonna feel like a grape being pushed out of its own skin. If you don't let go, it can be devastating and traumatic. But you're creating your own devastation and trauma. So anyway, what the original message being Ho'oponopono is that getting back to this, when it's time to leave a relationship, you must leave with gratitude. Yes, I said it. Gratitude. Take all the bad stuff that they did. Yes, grieve it, mourn it, go through the stages of grief, the 5 stages of grief. That's fine, but acknowledge the gifts that they gave you from all the crap that they did in your mind. What did they do, and what did you learn? When I'm in a verbally abusive situation, I started developing a thick skin, realizing none of that had anything to do with me. And that was the gift. That's part of it. I learned so much more. It has nothing to do with me when somebody's going through mood shifts like this, or they're upset because they don't have all my attention. Because they're relying on uh, external attention to love themselves, to feel loved. So with the reflecting back to me, then I have to ask myself, what's that reflecting to me? What did I learn from that? Oh, guilt. I feel guilty for changing my mind and moving forward. Basically, I'm feeling guilty for growing. And what is that darkness about? That's darkness. So That's what, when people want to hold you to an old vow, an old promise and everything, yes, yes, um, talk to them about, I don't feel this is my path or this is the way anymore. You got to do that, and you got to come up with the courage to do that. You have to seek divine guidance in doing that, sometimes very gingerly, and you may have to work your way out of a situation. It may take time, and that's okay, but address it and start working your way out of that and becoming who you are until you're ready to face that guilt and that shame and those beliefs that you have about holding on to old things and old patterns and old relationships and old houses and old things. um, you're not going to be able to be where you need to be and grow and move forward, if indeed that is the path that you're being called to, is something else. So it may not be. It may be staying in that same house for 40 years, and that's so freaking awesome. That would be, I'd love to see houses that people have stayed in for decades. That's cool. Not my path so far, but hey, I'm still young, and but it's about being authentic and who you are. So if you want to be a free spirit, but ho'oponopono means, basically, you're saying, um, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. To, let's say, a partner that is an ex, they may have you, by you staying in that situation, and they're trying to get you to move on. They have a contract with you in the 5D for you to move along. If you're not moving along, then they have to get nastier and nastier for you to do so. And guess what? You're a part of that dynamic, and you have to accept responsibility for that. So one reason why I left a past relationship was because I realized that he was getting nastier and nastier, and it was like, oh, this is not. He's not going to stop. Is until I leave. Like he gets better when I leave, and so do everybody a favor and stay on your divine path. Go with your higher power, or get left behind. And when you're left behind without your higher power, woo! God help us all. Like, I know I've been there. I'm not judging, and I'm not wishing anything bad on anybody, but it's not pleasant. And you think, I don't want to say, but you're being called. You better go. It's like the military. If you're being drafted, if you're being called, you better go, because otherwise they don't. I'm not saying that God is vengeful like that at all, but I'm saying, if you let distance be created between your higher power and yourself, the farther you are apart from the higher self's idea for you and the plan, the more miserable it gets, the darker it gets. So I encourage you to try to stay up and make those moves, and be ethical about it. Try to say as soon as you can, this is what I'm being guided to do. I am so sorry, but things are changing, or how they're changing. And you know what? You could be wrong. Maybe you may be coming back. Who knows? But you may have to go off on an adventure, and realize whatever that adventure has, and then things change within you, and you come back to a situation and check it out. But don't be afraid. Fear has to be tossed out the door. Anyway, so hope you all like this. Sorry, it's hard truth. maybe for some of you. Hope I don't have to disable comments or something. Have a blessed day. And if you would like some coaching about your life, I can do that. I'm an addiction professional and ordained minister, and I'm trauma informed. Have a great, awesome day. Love you guys. Bless. Peace. Peace out. Stay true to yourself. Bye-bye.